This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
With no fees or minimums on checking accounts, it's no wonder that Capital One Bank Guy is so passionate about banking with Capital One. If he were here, he wouldn't just tell you about no fees or minimums. He'd also tell you about how Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. Yep, even on weekends. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bankguy. Capital One N.A., member FDIC. Hey, and welcome to the Short Stuff. I'm Mojave Josh, and there's Mojave Chuck, and Mojave Jerry's out there somewhere, and so is Mojave Dave, and this is Short Stuff about something I had never heard of before, Chuck, the Mojave Desert Megaphone.
Yes, Mojave. How are you, Mojave?
I'm good. I'm Mojave. Mojave, you?
Mojave.
Sure.
So dumb.
Have you ever been to the Mojave Desert?
Sure.
I guess you have to have been if you've ever driven from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, boy, that's not the most fun ride in the world, I gotta say.
Barren, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty barren.
Cow skulls everywhere.
Yeah, exact tumbleweeds and dead mafia bodies, and me and my old friend John Pendel driving to Vegas to get him a Krispy Kreme Las Vegas T-shirt, and then driving home.
Right. It just does not seem right to call him John. I know him as Johnny, and I always will.
Johnny P.
Johnny Pendel. Sounds like a bad kid at school.
He was a decent kid. He's probably laughing because he gets in touch with me every time we mention him, so he'll laugh at that. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I know he is. That's why I can out him as a bad kid in school.
Bad kid, though. Ooh.
So, did you guys ever go see the Mojave Megaphone, or had you heard of it before?
I had not heard of it until I found this article on How Stuff Works, actually.
Nice work. Well, nice work, How Stuff Works, for really turning us on to something
Had
really
you heard about it?
No, I hadn't. I already said.
Oh, okay.
I've never heard of this before. And in
Sorry,
fact,
Mojave.
I'll it's Mojave.
Okay.
So in the Mojave Desert, as a matter of fact, in the Mojave Desert National Preserve, there is what looks a lot like a giant weathered steel megaphone bolted pretty much permanently to a couple of boulders on the top of like a hill. And it weighs a lot, and no one can make heads or tails of not only how it got there, but what it is and how long it's been there. It's a bona fide mystery.
Yeah, this is nuts to me that nobody has come out and knows the origin of this thing.
I know. Like, surely by now somebody would have been like, oh, I know the guy who put it there, and here's what it is, you know? And by the way, this is Banksy's real identity kind of person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so the Mojave Desert is, or this thing is located actually in the Mojave Desert National Preserve in sort of it says a remote corner, but they're all fairly remote. And it's just, it could be art. It could be a horn of some sort, like maybe a siren. And, we'll get to some of these in a little more detail, but it's just crazy to me that no one knows how this got there, especially because it has, sort of shaped like a megaphone, but it's the kind of thing where it seems like one would be able to say, oh, well, no, that used to be a thing because there were other things that are shaped just like this.
Right, exactly. There's nothing like that. And like you're saying, nobody's come forward to be like, this is what it is, or everyone has to preference what they're saying with I think, or I see it as, like it's all just interpretation, which is great. If you to describe it a little further, it looks like two slightly different sized rocket boosters placed top to top.
Yeah.
Or mouth to mouth. Okay. I like to think that the fire comes out of the butt, All
right, sure.
So this is mouth to mouth, bolted together like that. There's a couple of like triangular fins. I think there's a pair of them at least toward the end on each side as they flare out. And then inside, there's crosshairs basically made of rebar, it looked like to me. And the whole thing has no markings. There's no numbers. There's no letters. There's no nothing on it. Not even what seems like it was maybe used for before. And then if you look at like the rebar in the welding job, it doesn't seem like it was part of any kind of mass production. Like it almost gives you the idea of like a one-off kind of thing,
Yeah, which means it could be art. It's big. It's about 8 feet long. And if you see where it is, it took some effort. Maybe 2 people, but probably at least 3 or 4 people to get this thing up there, get it bolted onto the side of this cliff. And it has led to a lot of speculation over the years as to, there's some pretty decent ideas, I think, as to what this thing could be. Maybe we should take a break.
Yes, we
and
should,
come back.
Mojave.
Yes, Mojave. And we'll be right back to really Mojave this Mojave.
Stuff you should know.
Hey, everybody, here's a fact for you. In the United States, there is a break-in every 26 seconds, and that means that somewhere right now, an intruder is getting closer. And the problem with most security systems is that they only alert you after the break-in has started, and that's too late.
Well, that's what makes SimpliSafe different. They use alerts. SimpliSafe's U.S.-based live agents, they identify threats on your property and help deter them before they actually break in. So the intruder never gets into your house. The crime is stopped before it even starts.
That's right. And another great thing about SimpliSafe is they have no long-term contracts. They give you peace of mind and great value with their monitoring deterrence plans because they just start at about $1 a day.
Yeah, SimpliSafe sent us a setup years back, and I still use mine every day.
Yeah, and apparently setup, you can do it by yourself in under 30 minutes, so it's a really good value and it doesn't take long.
So if you want to experience the SimpliSafe peace of mind, you can take advantage of the SimpliSafe discount offered to Stuff You Should Know listeners. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplisafe.com/stuff. That's half off at simplisafe.com/stuff. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Work can be a little weird. One minute you're in a meeting that could have been an email. The next you're trying to decode corporate jargon that somehow means nothing. And don't even get us started on the quick sync that turns into a 45-minute deep dive.
Yeah, well, the truth is figuring out your career isn't always straightforward. Whether you're trying to grow, pivot, or just stay relevant, it can feel like you're navigating it all on your own. Well, that's where LinkedIn comes in.
That's right. LinkedIn can help you grow your career, helping you confidently navigate your path with insights, ideas, and inspiration from your professional community. You can stay up to date with the latest trends in your field, connect with people who get it, and discover opportunities tailored to your goals, your experience, and what actually matters to you.
Whether you're looking for something new or just trying to grow where you are, LinkedIn gives you the tools and connections to move forward with confidence. Because LinkedIn is the network that works for you. Visit linkedin.com/knowstuff to learn more.
Mojave?
Okay, Mojave, Chuck.
All right. So some people think it might be a siren of some kind from the 1940s or 50s. Like, they tested nuclear bombs not too far from here. It's near some Army and Air Force activity. Maybe it was an early warning signal. Other people say, I don't know about that. Like, this thing is really out in the middle of nowhere. You would have something like that closer to where people are, probably. So that idea is okay, but has also largely been shot down by a bunch of other people.
So that to me still makes sense because while it's not and never was a very heavily populated place, I think there's a ghost town called Crucero nearby. I mean, it's between the existing towns of Baker and Ludlow, and they're not exactly like Beijing and Shanghai or anything like that,
Yeah.
But there's a rail line, an old abandoned rail line that runs right through there. And apparently they used to run chemical agents to the military bases out that way. So while you wouldn't have had a lot of people to warn, you would have had a potential situation to warn about, even if it was just a few people, of like a major chemical spill or a gas leak or something like that. So to me, the idea that it was some sort of warning system, it does make sense.
Plausible.
But at the same time, it doesn't make sense that they would use some handmade one rather than one that was, available. Because there were huge air raid sirens that were around in World War II that look kind of similar, but were obviously air raid sirens, and they look like they would work a lot better than whatever this thing was.
Yeah, I saw on YouTube there was this woman who did a siren test, like got a crank siren and put it in the small end, and then had her friends down on the ground see if they could hear it. And they could, but it didn't amplify things that much. And interestingly, in the YouTube comments, and so believe me, I'm not saying that this is like the worst research possible,
Right.
to say a YouTube commenter said this,
Right.
but there was a YouTube comment that said, hey, listen, I think it might be something from an old salt mine, like hot brine might have been pumped at high pressure through this thing, because it's just made of such thick iron and steel. Like it doesn't, he said you could make something like a megaphone out of something a lot lighter.
Yeah, true.
And that sort of made sense a little bit. That's the only reason I mention it. Other people said that they said something like a rocket booster maybe, or maybe what's called a venturi, a pipeline venturi, which is an enclosure that is hourglass shaped that controls the flow of fluids through a pipe.
Which is legitimate too. I mean,
But why
that's
would it
possible.
be up there? Like, and wouldn't they have some record of a pipeline through there?
That's the thing. Like, there's no apparent either no one's looked in the right place yet, or it just wasn't documented.
Yeah.
Which means it was either secret or it is a more recent art installation. But if you look at it, I think one of the people who run tours out there said that they think that it's been there for 30 or more years. This thing looks like it's been around for a lot longer than the 1990s. You know, so it looks very old, and it's possible its use was just so mundane that it didn't need any kind of documentation, or it's possible it's secret. And I kind of don't want to know, but at the same time I think I would find it pretty fascinating to know its use too. Like, I think that also makes mysterious objects really interesting, knowing their history.
Yeah, another thing that feels plausible to me is that it was not something that sent out a sound, but something that maybe was used to detect something. Like if they were doing nuclear testing at the Nevada testing site, that maybe it was something that like measured or detected long range shock waves, or something like that. And then it could make sense that the government, it might have been sort of a one-off and not have manufacturing numbers, and the government wouldn't readily come out and say anything like that.
Yeah.
Existed.
Plus, also, Edwards Air Force Base is kind of nearby, which is where Chuck Yeager broke the sound barrier.
Yeah, sure.
And he very famously said, folks, Mojave, over. And that was it.
Should we tell people how to get there?
I think so, sure. I mean, it's all over the place. We even have the exact coordinates.
Yeah, the exact coordinates are, get out your pencil, everyone, and Mojave this down on your Mojave. 35.0056 degrees north, 116.1963 degrees west.
And that's use your decoder pins for the Little Orphan Annie secret message.
If you want to go there, you cannot just walk there or drive there in your Toyota Tercel. No shade on the Tercel. Great car.
Sure.
But you need a four-wheel drive, because you're going to have to drive through the Mojave River. You're going to be on dirt roads. You're going to be driving through sand, through canyons, and it's not the easiest thing to get to.
No, not at all. But if you want to get there, you can. People have before, and you can take a photo with it.
Sure. Or bring a crank siren and do a test of your own.
Or you can look for gold. There's a legend that it actually points to a gold hoard underground, but
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure I buy that one.
No, I think they mentioned the crosshairs
Yeah.
for that reason, but I don't know. It's just really interesting. It doesn't look like any megaphones that were used at any period in anyone's history.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think sometimes people didn't they find something like a monolith in Utah recently?
Yeah, that definitely was an art installation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
This isn't necessarily so. Well, if you do go, let us know. We want to hear about it. Get in touch with us. In the meantime, everybody, Short Stuff is Mojave.
Stuff You Should Know is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.